Okay, so this is another fan that I made. I love this one, not because they have a picture of me, but also look at this. I love the look of the heat transfer vinyl. Isn't it pretty? It sparkles. This is like good if you performing on stage, you know. And then there's a picture of me in the, so everybody will know it's mine. That's why I put myself. So in the process, I will show you how I use heat transfer vinyl to make this fan. Okay, so I decided to use my Cricut Maker to do the heat transfer vinyl. I also have like a longer mat for the Cricut Maker, so that's one of the reasons I chose it. You know, the sticks are like about 13 inches long, so I needed a longer mat to be able to do the heat transfer vinyl. And I also use holographic vinyl because I didn't have any more of the silver glitter vinyl, so I had to mix it with a holographic, but it still looked really nice. So I used both holographic and heat transfer vinyl, but both of them are heat transfer vinyl anyway, so you have to use both of them to transfer heat. So that's what you see me doing right now. Okay, so I already finished cutting the vinyl, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the vinyl from the sheet that you're seeing me doing right now. To me, this is like the easiest way of removing the vinyl. You know, I can't really explain it. You're just gonna have to watch and see how I do it. You know, but I think this is like a better way to remove it. Okay, now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut between the areas that I don't need, because I'm going to apply it on the wood once I'm done cutting it. I know this may seem like a long process. I'm sure there's like quicker ways of doing this, but I'm just enjoying doing the project. It's almost like therapy, you know, so I'm not like in a rush to get it done, you know what I mean? So I just like doing craft. I really enjoy it, so I don't mind taking the scissors to cut it. I know there's probably a quicker, easier way, but I just want to enjoy doing what I'm doing right now. I know what you're probably thinking, me using this small heat press. But you know, when I bought it, I didn't think I would use it that much. I use it all the time. It's one of my favorite heat press to use. You know, I could, yes, take the heat press machine and use it. But like I say, like I just want to enjoy making what I'm making. It's like therapy for me. So I love using that small heat press. I use it so much, and I didn't think I would use it that much when I first bought it. You know, I thought it'd be nice to do like little tiny projects, which it is, but it's one of my favorite heat press to use, by the way. So after a while of doing that, I decided I'm gonna get me a slightly bigger heat press because it was starting to take me long. Um, I used about 15 ribs to make this fan, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. Just stick to the 3 millimeters because I use 1.5 millimeters, and I noticed that the wood feels kind of weak. Like if you're not careful, you could actually break it. So if I could do it again, I would have stuck with 3 millimeters thick for the wood. So next time if I ever make fans again, I'm just gonna use 3 millimeters for the wood, and in that way it will be quicker because once it's 3 millimeters, then you only have to worry about doing 9 to 11. Depends how many will fit on the rivet. So yeah, so if you do 3 millimeters, you probably have to only use 9 to 10 wood to do the fan. You know what too? I love using Cricut heat press. You know, sometimes you don't want to use the large one because it's just big and and heavy, and and it's like when you use these small heat press, it's like it just make doing the project more fun and more, you enjoy it more. So I just want to mention that. I also want to mention that I use heat transfer vinyl glitter and holographic. If some of y'all are curious, I did not have enough silver heat transfer vinyl glitter, so I had to supplement and use also the holographic vinyl to make up for that, by the way. So something similar, because this was like the only silver one that I had at the time. Okay, so now that I'm finished removing the heat transfer paper, I'm going to use my hole puncher. The hole puncher that I have is called Read on Memory, I believe. It's a really great hole puncher. Unfortunately, like my camera didn't get a good view on it, but you could see me holding it and putting holes um, in the wood with the hole puncher. I mean, the wood already got a hole in it, but it's just to put a hole in the vinyl, you know. I know you're probably saying that I could have like cut it with the vinyl machine, but I didn't know how to do it because I'm very new to Cricut. But now I know there's a way, and I'm glad I did it that way anyway because it was hard to place the heat transfer vinyl on the wood to make it precisely. So it kind of worked out. I'm using an X-Acto knife to trim off any heat pressed vinyl because I didn't put it on the best, so some of them may be sticking out of place. So I'll just trim off any extra vinyl because I didn't place it 100%, but you don't really notice it that much. Okay, so what you see me doing right now, I'm about to put the fan together. Like this part was kind of hard for me because you have to hammer the rivet to put the sticks together, and I don't have a lot of strength in my hands or my wrists. So the best way for me to get it to work is to do it on the floor. So if you are struggling with trying to put that rivet inside the wood with the hammer, do it on the floor and it should work like a charm. You see, I can't even get it to work, so I had to do it on the floor, because if I continue to do it on the table, I probably would have put a hole in my table. So the best, like I say, the best way to do it is to go on the floor and do it for me, because I don't have the strength to do it with my hands. It's like really hard for me to do it. Okay, so now I'm preparing the sublimation paper, because I'm about to put the fabric on the sublimation, and I'm just keeping the paper together, because I use 3 sheets to put the sublimation paper together, and I'm about to use the fabric so I could sublimate on the fabric right now. So I'm just keeping the sublimation paper together to get it prepped, ready to use the heat press. Okay, so I'm gonna cut out the fabric so I'll be able to sublimate. I made this pattern. I do have a video show you how I was able to put the pattern together. If you're interested in the pattern, I do sell them on my Etsy store if you are interested in buying the pattern. Okay, so now you just see me placing the fabric on the sublimation paper. This type of fabric feels more like a shower curtain. I don't have to sew on it because it's not gonna fray. So that's what you see me doing. I'm just taping it to prepare it to do a heat press. Okay, so now I'm just going to prepare double-sided tape on the fan so I'll be able to make the fan for my fan. So that's all I'm doing right now. Okay, so if you're watching this video, you probably watched to the end, and you're probably asking yourself, does this clap? So there's only one way to tell to see if it's going to clap. So let's see if it claps. So that's your answer.